Hello, hello. I've been trying to make a video, but there's so much going on. I just don't know what to talk about. There's just so much, and it just changes constantly. You know, it just goes from one subject to the next subject, and it's all some amazing stuff. So I'll talk about myself for a bit. I'm I'm feeling on an absolute high. I don't know why. I don't understand it, but since this dawning of Aquarius, that's what I'm calling it at the moment. I've got no idea. But since the dawning of Aquarius, I've just been getting higher and higher and higher. I just feel great, and really I'm being pulled back so much, and I'm still breaking through that. I've got a bit of an illness at the moment. I've got my hands they're all cracking up. You know, they keep cracking up, drying up. All the skin falls off, and my hands are good for about a day, and then they start drying up again. It goes about every 6 months, every 6 weeks. The skin dries up, falls off, and then I'll get fresh skin, and then it happens again. And all over my body, I've always had a tan all my life. I've always had a darkish skin, um, and all over my body, I'm itching, I'm flaking, and my tan's all going. Well, I mean, my tan's really deep, and it's all my white. I've got big white patches. I'm like the black and white minstrels. I've got big white patches and tan pieces everywhere. It's really strange because I've always lived in the sun. I've always lived the south of England, and whenever the sun's out, I'm out in it. And I've worked out in it quite a bit. And it's never really affected me, the sun. But this winter, this thing started, and I mean, it's quite painful. I can pick up a pillow with my hand, with a flat hand. I've got a barb like a spider, a Spider Man. I'm grabbing everything. You can see how big these splits are. I don't go down yet. And my feet are massive great splits. I've got this special cream for them. But I managed to see the doctor, so that's one good thing. I bought some of that collagen. I thought, well, that's supposed to be for skin. I don't know, I'll give that a go, but I don't know if that's working really. I've got other things, that bring me back. I've got spine problems. I've got 3 discs in my spine, in my upper spine, my neck, that are knackered. They've been crushed in an accident I had at work, and that's severe pain. Puts me on tramadol. I hate the tramadol. I hate being on tramadol. It makes me tired. It makes things hard to do. I absolutely hate tramadol. I want to get off them. I want to get off them totally. I've managed to get down from 8 a day down to 5 a day, but I want to get off them. I need to get off of all pills. I hate taking pills, but I've been taking them for 20 years now. And I know I'm addicted to bloody opium. I know I am, because when I went without, that's when I found out. I was going absolutely mad. But as for what's going on in the world, I just think Mel Maher, I think that's fantastic. That woman, I knew she was bloody bad. You can even look at her and see that's not a good woman. You can see straight through her, that she's bad. And a bit like that, there used to be a woman that used to look after orphan children. She more or less got sainted. I can't remember what, Mother Teresa or something like that. I can't remember what they used to call her. And I looked at her and I thought, she's not good. I don't believe she's good. she doesn't look good to me. She doesn't feel good to me. And I like to go, you know, I've used my head in the last few years, and it hasn't taken me in good places. It's it's made my life a bloody misery using my head. So I'm going back to how I used to be when I was single. I'm going to go with my gut, and I just take things as I see them and react there and then. I'll keep as little in my head as possible. I don't think about anything unless I'm thinking about that thing. I don't like more than one thing going on in my head at a time. How can you think about two things at a time? It only confuses the issue. So I like to go with one thing at a time. Just that's me. But I suppose it's because I'm getting a bit older, you know. Yeah, one job a day is enough for me. But even Biden as president, it's so funny. I can't believe other people can't see how funny this is. I see him in there with his stack of bloody... And I watched a video the other day where Trump walked, I'm sure it was Trump, walked past the window, blah, 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 past the White House window. Well, it's not White House, it's Castle Rock. I've known it's Castle Rock. I think the inauguration happened, and as soon as it finished, that night, boom, they went in, arrested everybody in there. They were all having their, whatever they do, parties, whatever they, horrible stuff they do in their parties, and just arrested them all. And then the show started, the film started, and that's Castle Rock Studios, because suddenly the Oval Office is not the same anymore. It's everything's different in there. It's a totally different space, and let's see. One thing, you see someone out the window, a car outside the window. The trees are there, you know, the same as the White House, but it's so different. There's so many different things, and I see yesterday a video. Supposed it's not Joe Biden, he's an actor, but sat at a desk with a massive great mask on, covering half his face, because they could get the best they could get, and he's only got to sign things anyway, and he sat there with a bloody great pile of subpoena, whatever they do, whatever he's signing, acts or whatever they are, and blank pieces of paper. And a whole film crew walked past him, and I thought that was bloody amazing, and he just sat there looking at them all going past, like a president would, as if they wouldn't sort this out before he got in there. They would have all this set up before he arrived, and like Trump, he'd walk in there dramatically, because he's the president, I don't even know if he can walk. I think they've got someone who can't walk, because they just need to put that one in the desk, grab that one in the desk, and of course, you want to know anything about it. I mean, all you've got to do is ask the secretary, and she'll get round to it sometime. It's absolutely hilarious. And there's something weird happened I think it was in Malmö yesterday. It was like I don't know what it was. It was like a rocket going up, but it wasn't a rocket. It was so different. I've never seen anything like it before. I was watching it with my kids. I said, "Come watch this. This was amazing." And it goes above your head, and then it starts shooting up to the heavens, and then it explodes in a couple of pieces, and another bit goes off and starts spinning round and like clapping, and it was, and all these lights start coming down, and all the ground is just like on fire, and it's like heaven and hell's opened. It was really, really strange. And I watched it about 4 times, just sat there. I don't know, it might not be real. It might, they can do so much with animation now. It's, it's incredible. They can change the scene while you're actually in it and put you in somewhere totally, totally different, and quite easy to do that. You don't know what you're watching, really. You don't know if anything. You don't know if anything you've watched has been done in the studio or done in, they can do anything in the studio and make it look like it's anywhere in the world. They're so clever, and the computers are just so powerful now, especially these new ones with the quantum building computers. They'll be giving you answers before you ask the question soon. Because once they start sending signals faster than the speed of light, then you'll be getting the answer. So you'll be thinking of what the question is, and the answer will pop up on the screen. Does that still mean you've got to type it in? I don't know. I'm a bit confused with this time, but anyway, I just had to say something, but I don't need to tell people what's going on. I'm sure. I wish these people in the street. I've never even brought a mask. I knew about some sort of virus back in last January. I knew well before. I don't know how I knew, but I knew. I said to my son about it. I said there's some sort of virus coming, and can't remember how I found out, where I heard it, but it was on the internet somewhere, on YouTube somewhere, I think, and so I knew something was coming. But I used to work in a virology lab. Now, people said, you've never worked in a virology, you're not intelligent enough. I washed up. When I worked in a virology lab, I washed up. I've never been proud about what job I did. And when I was young, I wanted a job. I went down to sign on the dole. I didn't want to sign on the dole. So before I signed on, I looked on the board, and there was a load of jobs on there, and there was one at the hospital, washing up. So I thought, right, 40 quid a week. This is back in mid-70s. So I thought, right, I'll go for that, that's all right, I can live on that. And so I went for that job, and I loved it. It was great. I had a white coat. I had a white coat with my name on. I used to feel like a doctor. I put a couple of pens in there, not that I ever used them. And I used to walk around the hospital chatting the nurses up all the time. I was only 16, cheeky and 16. And it was great fun. But I washed up the test tubes and all the instruments. I got them all washed, and I used to take them downstairs, and I'd put them in the autoclave, which is the steam, high pressure steam, and I'd put the other stuff in the oven. I used to wrap them in brown paper and put them in the oven. You put them in this brown paper with this tape on, so it showed that they had been sterilised, so they were clean. And that's what I'd do, and it was such an easy job. And I was in there there was a couple of professors, about 3 doctors, lots of technicians. There was a lot of girls used to work just inside the door, and what they used to do when the samples come in, they spun them down in the autoclave and took the white cells off and took them in an oven dish, labelled them all up, and and then they went and grew it, But viruses, I was taught it in there. There's nothing to worry about a virus, unless you cut your hand with it on, with it on your hand. Then there's a bit of a worry. But you can get a virus on your skin. He said, and it doesn't mean you're going to catch that virus. So I've never been worried about the virus really. I don't like bacteria. I've had a bit of a problem with stomach bacteria, but I'm not worried about viruses. I never wore a mask. The only people who wore a mask was them girls that were doing the blood, and I'm sure they were marked as spit masks. Spit. spit marks. Yeah, I'm sure they were marks of spit marks. That was the name they were given. And they used to just get them out of a long tube. And they wouldn't wear them long, they'd just wear them for that, an hour, take them off, chuck them away, another one on. And no one else, none of the technicians used them. I can't remember ever seeing it. And the professors, they were bloody mad. I had one professor who was growing Legionnaires in the lab. I think his name was Dr. Tomlinson or something like that. But he was growing Legionnaires. And I can remember one of the other ones saying, "You shouldn't be growing Legionnaires." And he said, "Oh, shut up." He said, "You don't know what you're talking about." And not word at all. He said it's not to hurt anybody. And there was never any worry about it in there. So if there was no worry from virologists, then why should I worry? There's no worry. And there's so many cures. I mean, the prochloroquine, that was the thing they used to give the army if they had to go. My dad had hydroxychloroquine when he went to Burma years ago in the 50s, and it's just a malaria thing, but it's more than that. It's makes you really healthy. It makes you really, really healthy. Anyway, I just had to say something. I've got so much on my mind. I'm learning to read. I've never been able to read. When my wife left, I found out I've got to read. I ain't got no choice anymore. I've got to read. I can't pay my bills. I've got to get a computer. I can't pay my bills. I can't talk to my kids' schools. I was late in life. I didn't have kids. My son I didn't have until I was 45. So I never worried about reading ever. It never bothered me. I used to be amazed about people reading, but now I'm learning. I've got this charity now, so insistent that I learn that and they kept phoning up, and I thought, they're really persistent. I'll go and meet them. So I went to a park and I met these two ladies, and one of them now is my teacher, and I get on brilliantly with her, and she's been teaching me something I never learned when I went to school in the 60s and 70s, was the sounds of letters. I never knew the sounds of the letter. I learned how to spell words, not very well, but I never knew how the letter sounded, so making a word was really hard for me, and it's just the simple sounds, like like F. I mean, the sound isn't F, it's and when I can remember everything, well, a good memory for, if I want to remember something, I'll remember it. If I want to learn how to do something, I'll learn how to do it, and I'll learn how to do it fast, and I won't forget it. But that's because I don't keep anything else in my head. I try to keep what I need, what I'm interested in, I'll do. So now I'm interested in learning to read. So I learn to read, and I'm learning to read at such a great speed that I'm blowing them away. And I said, well, a lot of it must be coming back through memory, but I can't really remember trying ever to read. I got upset at school, the teacher crossed out I wrote a story, really great, well, what I thought was a brilliant story, and I handed it in to the teacher and she crossed it all out, and it really upset me. And that was the last time I ever tried, really. But I want to do a little bit of, because this group's helping me out, this charity's helping me out with my reading, I've decided I'll try to help them out, in any way I can. I said, I'll publicise it in any way I can, yeah. So I spoke to a woman yesterday. We'd love to have you doing something. I'll phone you back later and I'll tell you. I'll have a Zoom meeting for you set up. I said okay then. So she phoned up and she said, I've got a Zoom meeting set up for you on Friday. I said okay then. It's with BBC, and I went, oh bloody hell, someone. I mean, she thought it was amazing. But I can't stand the BBC. I can't stand. I've been there. I've been in the BBC. I've been there. Put in for a contract years ago. I used to have a theatrical costume and props company, and I was doing a quote for some bear for a charity event. Some big bear, and all the people who work in the offices there, just a bunch of thugs, tattooed thugs, I would say. When I left school, if I'd have had tattoos and piercings like that, like they've all got on me, I'd have never got a bloody job. My dad would have killed me. But I've got to have an interview with, I don't know, Radio 5. Is there a Radio 5? Well, I know Radio 1, 2, I don't know 3, but I know 4, but I didn't know there was a 5 as well. Bloody hell. I don't watch the TV or radio or listen to the radio. I might listen to the radio if I'm in the car now and again, but not very often. It don't work at the moment. I tried to change the clock, and since I've tried to change the clock, I can't get the bloody thing working, and I'm not really bothered about it. I'm happy looking around at I live in such a beautiful part of the world. I live in Dorset, and it doesn't matter. Every time you go out, you're seeing beauty. Everywhere it's so lovely around here. It's no wonder so many people come down here in the summer. That's the problem. You can't bloody get out in the summer. Our roads are jam packed. Anyway, keep chins up. Right, ta.